So it's the end of the year and today is 31st. Wait, before we continue, I want you to look at this. Isn't that amazing? But yeah, that just got me so happy. Anyway, so wait, let me find like a good spot to keep my phone first. Hi. If you're new to this channel, this is Kopal, and this is my channel for just exploring my life and personal growth. I don't know why I took so much time to like say it, but yeah. Anyway, today is 31st, and this is a ritual that I do. I don't record it every day, every year, but this is a ritual, and I just thought, well, I'm also in a different country, and I'm going to be flying somewhere else on 1st of January, which is again an extremely exciting thing. So there's a lot happening, and I suddenly just found myself being extremely grateful for everything that's been happening. I was also very scared, but you can see like I'm so like jittery. But yeah, so I'm just very grateful about a lot of things right now. So I thought that why not? I think isn't that good? I thought that maybe it's time to record it. So here I am recording it. This is also like a recap type of thing. So I did it I think in 2020. And honestly that recap gave me so much space to like understand how my year went and everything. So this is gonna be that, along with just things I'm looking forward to in the next year, or things that I wanna like, you know, in terms of personal growth, achieve in some form. Because I found a lot of growth this year, and let's be honest. So this video is gonna be extremely honest, and there can be crying, I'm not gonna deny it. So yeah, but usually my recap videos are extremely honest and I actually go into details. So yeah, that's that. I feel like this year was very scary. While I learned to trust my instincts a lot this year, it started off from a bad space. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't trust a lot about myself in the beginning of this year. There was a lot going on, and honestly, on a very mental, like health level, I was like not thinking for myself, you know. I was living a life that I didn't subscribe to, which was something like subscribing to someone else's fun. And I was also, at least in the start of the year, I was living for other people. So it just felt like a big no when I realized it. And I was like, oh my god, this is not how I want to live it. And also this year was very important to me, for reasons that you will find out soon. But it was extremely important because of what was about to come this year. So I was like, I'm not gonna risk it. I lost a lot of people this year, a lot of friends, a lot of people who I thought were close to me. And you know, the funny thing is, I'm not upset in the context of like, oh, how did they leave me? Why did they do this and this and that? Because it wasn't meant to be. It was great while we were good friends, but I couldn't figure out things in their presence. And this is not just about like one person. There are a lot of people in my life that are no longer part of my life because it just didn't make sense. And maybe I also didn't make sense in their life. So that's that. And I think one of the biggest things I struggled with this year was letting go. And also learning to be okay with the fact that people are gonna come and go. I mean, I've said that I'm okay with it before, but I think this year it was really like put to test, and I was forced to be okay with it. So I think this year I also learned to speak for myself, to actually do things that I like and not things that I'm supposed to like. And that's great. And I'm still learning to do that. Like, I'll be very honest. There's still a lot of things that I just say yes to without actually wanting to say yes to them. So yeah, we're working on it. So another thing that I really like, I feel like I struggled with this year was staying consistent, being able to say yes and being able to say no. This year, many times I was just in a gray area, and I was like, yeah, maybe yes, maybe no. And I think a major part, in my personal life at least, it was that I did not give myself or my routine as much importance. I get why as well. Like, if I look at it from the logical point of view, I understand why I didn't, because again, I was working towards something and I kind of figured that these things would take time. But I don't know, I feel like I could have been better. And that's another thing, I did not give myself credit this year at all. That's why this video actually, it's super important for me to put this video out, because I don't give myself credit almost anytime I achieve something. And okay, I'm tearing up. And I don't, so many times I don't feel like, I feel guilty when someone's showing me love, when someone's showing me affection. So I struggled with that this year. That, I realized this year. I realized that I don't give myself credit for these things. And while I have friends who always keep me like in check and give me credit for things that I work on or things that I achieve, I've never given myself that credit. And even if I do, it's never like from here. Yeah, it's never from here. So yeah, I think this year I want to give myself more credit. And I'm not saying to be like, oh, I've done so much, so I'm not going to do anymore. No. I'm going to go forward with a lot of more things this year, but I'm also going to keep giving myself credit. Because I feel like when you give yourself credit, right, you actually feel more motivated and you don't feel like you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Because you're there for you, okay? This is something I learned like ages ago. I mean, it feels like ages, but I've known this for almost my entire like teenage life, I think, that you're gonna spend the rest of your life with yourself, and why would you want to make that relationship a bad one? So I've always worked on my relationship with myself, and honestly, because I've been able to work on my relationship with myself, I actually am I'm able to give to my relationships outside, to my friendships outside. And this year, maybe that's one of the reasons why some of my relationships, some of my friendships suffered. And that's okay. But at the same time, I also know that I upheld so many boundaries that I had just placed, never had to actually uphold them. Because with friendships, boundaries are never tested in the beginning. Boundaries are tested way later, and I'm just really grateful to have been so respectful for myself, and just been able to uphold that, because it's not easy. Keeping boundaries is one thing, but actually applying them and upholding them is a totally different experience. So yeah, I'm proud of myself for that. I'm proud of myself for not giving up. For also, there's so many inner battles, and I know this sounds a little cliche, but there were so many like times where I did not think I would achieve the thing that I was working towards, or that I would actually be able to do the things I really wanted to do, and I did get to do it. So all I want to say is that while I know that sometimes it's not easy, sometimes it's also just your anxiety speaking. It's also just this, just talking out of nowhere. And I guess that's also a safety mechanism that I have created in my own like personal life. Um, to like always think of the worst thing that could happen, or at least whatever could happen. So I'm mentally prepared for it. But you know what? It's stopping me from living a like stress-free life. So this year, that's another thing. We're not, yeah, we're gonna think about the second order effect. We're gonna think about things that can happen, but I'm not gonna beat myself up over it. Um, because I have proof that things do work out, that dreams do come true. I mean, the biggest. I'm taking an international. I mean, I took an international flight at the end of the year. I am taking. The first thing I'm doing on the 1st of January is taking a. Work hard, you know, don't stop. And never, let me remind you, no person, no family member, no friend, no relationship will ever want you to stop your growth if it's a good relationship, a good friendship. And you know, you'll just realize that sometimes it's time to let go, and when it's time to let go, you just have to accept it. There's no way around it. You know, this year I realized that there are two ways to go about it. It's either you stay the way it is and keep complaining about it, or you change something about it. So I chose changing things. I also feel like a lot of these things happen subconsciously. A lot of these things are not things that you do, they just happen. So just let life take its course, okay? Don't stress about it so much. I want 2024 to be a great year, and I know it's going to be, but I also don't want to repeat the same things I did this year. I don't want to go down the same rabbit holes. I don't want to sit down with the same, you know, old thing that happened some years ago, and I can't get over it, or like I have gotten over it, but you know, have that, how do I put this? Just be so strong-willed that no amount of triggers can make you want to read your books backwards. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, that's about it. I'm going into 2024 with a lot of hope, with a lot of happiness, a lot of ambition, a lot of love, a lot of calmness. I want this year to be incredible, and I know it's going to be, but I also want to develop as a person to the point where, I know this sounds incredibly cliche, but I actually want to be the girl I strive to be, the woman I strive to be. And while I'm close to it, I don't think I will ever feel like I'm there yet, but I want to do more this year. I want to be better this year. And, you know, I know I must have hurt a lot of people this year as well. So, the previous clip got cut because I did not have enough storage. Yeah, stop. Do not look at me. But what I was saying was that even though I lost a lot of people and I must have hurt a lot of people, right? I tell myself this every year, and myself, because I cannot tell these people anymore, probably because we've lost touch or we just can't connect anymore. And if we did talk, it would not be to get closure. It would just, it would keep going back in circles, and I just felt like some chapters are better closed. So to myself, every year I tell myself that it's okay, we're all human and we all make mistakes. It's important to not repeat those mistakes, and that's what I'm gonna do. So in 2024, I'm gonna make sure that I don't repeat these mistakes of maybe I've hurt someone, maybe I've expected too much or too little from someone. um maybe I haven't set the right boundaries with people from the beginning. All of that, I want to make sure that I keep that in check, because I feel like I am more sane like that, you know? Um, and lastly, to 2024, I just want to say I know you're going to be a great year. I know it's going to be incredible because I'm going to make you incredible. Um, this year, there's no stopping. I do not want my intrusive thoughts to win this year. I do not want to feel guilty about something that I want in my life. So this year, we're doing action, we're making it happen. And another part of this making it happen is going to be like YouTube and Instagram. I'm going to make vlogs, I'm going to do it. And I hope, at least I know some of my friends are going to keep me so accountable for it, but I hope everybody else who may not know me personally keep me accountable for it. If I don't post, if I don't do something, just keep me accountable if you can. If you can, I will be incredibly grateful. If you can't, that's okay too. Thank you so much for watching. This was my recap for 2023 and the year to come.